University of Minnesota had become a formidable institution. It was already 50 years old. It had a large campus, but it needed an equally impressive front entrance, the Memorial Gate. It was the front door of the university, but it became the front door to Dinkytown. 120 years later, it's still the gateway.
Well, next Saturday, a new film exploring a staple of the University of Minnesota campus will be shown at the Cedar Cultural Center in Minneapolis. Dinkytown, a tale of a legendary village, explores the iconic neighborhood that has shaped generations of students and families. The event is free, but you will have to RSVP and download tickets to gain access. And joining me now is the film's director and producer, Oshawn Orr, who now lives in St. Paul, but it's my understanding that you were introduced to Dinkytown as a high school senior.
That's correct.
Bring us back in time.
Well, I came there because I wanted to take guitar lessons at the Podium, which was right across the street from the Scholar, where Bob Dylan played. And from that point on, I was just completely entranced with Dinkytown.
Why?
It just had an otherworldly feeling about it. It was like basically a gateway to the rest of the world. I looked at it as, you know, if you wanted to have a sense of other places, you had to go to Dinkytown.
Yeah, the diversity there is incredible. I went to the U, so I spent a lot of time in Dinkytown, and it's just filled with so many cool businesses and shops and people. So tell me about this film.
Well, this film started 12 years ago. An organization called Preserve Historic Dinkytown was being formed, and I heard about it the day before they had their very first meeting. And a friend of mine who lived in Spokane, Washington, couldn't make it. He was one of the co-founders of the organization. He called me and said, "Can you go to this event?" And it was in the Red Room of the Loring Pasta Bar. And so I came and I brought my camera, and from that point on, the movie started. And
over a decade ago.
Yeah, but you know, it for a while it kind of languished. And then it got picked up. A friend of mine, Rob Hahn, kind of carried the ball forward a little bit for a while, and I took it over again. And basically, about 3 years ago, I started looking for funding and applied for some grants from the Legacy Fund. And at that point, I started editing about 2 years ago.
Wow, and it's now come to life.
It's now come to life. It's a feature length. It's 97 minutes long.
Okay.
And it basically deals with the history, not only from, you know, early in the history of settlement back in the 1850s, but it comes up through the, basically to about 1976. And that was, to me, the heyday was the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s in Dinkytown, into the 70s.
Tell me about your research process. Who were you able to talk to? What's included?
Well, we had probably about 25 interviews in it that are used. You know, more were interviewed, but 25 interviews in it, and basically their story. I felt compelled to tell their story once I started interviewing them and found out a lot more than I ever knew about Dinkytown. It was just my opportunity to tell their story.
Yeah, and so this will be the second showing. The premiere sounds like it went well.
It went very well. We had a full house, so to speak, and we think we're going to have a full house the second time. And I'd like to see it basically shown maybe at the university for orientation, because what it is, it's sort of the history of Minnesota as well as the world during that period through the lens of Dinkytown, or through the window of Dinkytown. And I felt like, you know, even my grandchildren, aged 20, 25, didn't know a lot about Minnesota history or the history of the 60s, which formed most of what we have today. I mean, most of the civil rights, most of the gay rights, women's rights, everything all started in the 60s. So I felt like this would be a primer to just kind of give them a sense of all that history, but give them a sense of Dinkytown too, which was obviously the intellectual center of Minnesota during that period.
How cool. So tickets are still available to download, though it sounds like they're going quickly.
Yeah.
So if you want more information, we do have some of that on your screen now. Again, Dinkytown, a tale of a legendary village, will be shown next Saturday. Thanks for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
We appreciate it.